The moment many have waited for has finally come to pass. The evil Usurper has been cast down, and now a new Overlord sits upon the throne of the city of Irsmuncast nigh edge, and wears its heavy crown upon his troubled brow. Now he must convene the Privy Council within the Star Chamber. Guides and guardians who will help him on his rule, or hinder him if they will. However, he is no mere ruler. He is Ninja.
I am Ninja. My parents are the heaven and the earth. My home is my body. My power is loyalty. My magic is training. My life and my death is breathing. My body is control. My eyes are the sun and the moon. My ears are sensitivity. My laws are self-protection. My strength is adaptability. My ambition is taking every opportunity with fullness. My friend is my mind. My enemy is carelessness. My protection is right action. My weapons are everything that exists. My strategy is one foot in front of the other. My trust is in Quan. My way is the way of the tiger.
Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry and it's time for some more Way of the Tiger. Now, I'm going to pick up where I left off, creeping into the village last time, because apart from one fight where the dice just hated me, I handled that fairly well. There are a couple of dice rolls to do before that fight or decisions, and I'll repeat those here. Hopefully you can all remember what happened last time, and we'll get right back into it. So this is creeping into the village after defeating the ninja who came out of the pit in the ground, and heading towards the well, down which we know is the hideout of the evil ninjas we have come to defeat. We're a good ninja, not an evil ninja. There's a difference. The difference is we say we're the good one. They probably say they are the good ones as well. They just have a rather different definition of good. Rather like the assassin class. Oh god, what are they called? From Crimson... Darkens, that's it. The Darkens from Cursed Empire. Yeah. You creep on through the night. Everything is quiet when you come to the low stone wall that surrounds the village. You slide over it silently, crouching at the other side and reaching out into the night with your senses, but everything remains still. You steal into the village itself, unseen as far as you can tell. Some huts have lanterns outside, and you avoid these pools of light like the plague. Eventually, you are standing beside the well at the centre of the village. You climb into it and edge your way down, back to one wall, feet braced against the other. It is black as coal, and you cannot see anything save for a glimmer of yellow light below you. As you near it, you see it comes from a side tunnel set into the wall, some 10 feet above the water of the well. Immediate flashbacks to the tunnel in the side of the well in Fighting Fantasy Book 3 Forest of Doom, but let's carry on. As quietly as you can, you enter the tunnel and find yourself able to stand. The tunnel, more like an alcove in fact, ends at a wooden door with a lantern beside it. The door is painted with a large red scorpion rising out of a whirlpool. Over the door an inscription reads, "Make the night your friend and darkness your cloak of invisibility." You notice a small indentation where the handle should be, a circular lock. We do have the ring, iron ring with black scorpion, Scorpion, actually. Black scorpion set in amber. And we'll utilise that at this very moment, as the text seems to indicate that is an option available to us. It seems that the ring will fit perfectly into the door's lock. You insert the amber stone into place. To your excitement, there is a click and the door slides open, to reveal a dimly lit corridor stretching away into the darkness. Why did I chuckle there? I imagined misreading that as excrement. To your excrement, there is a click and the door slides open to reveal a dimly lit corridor stretching away into darkness. Although you do not excrete, that would be a bit silly. Cautiously you step in. The floor and ceiling are polished wood, clean and simple. The walls are of sculpted stone. Carven gargoyles and demonic forms surge out as if to bite and snap at those that walk this corridor. Without a sound, you glide on down the straight, devil-lined corridor, senses alert, your heart beating rapidly. You are stealing into a veritable pit of scorpions. Death lurks, ready to pounce upon you like a wolf spider on its prey. In the dim light, it seems, the sculpted faces and figures mock you silently. As you pass them, your spine tingles in anticipation. You half expect them to roar into life and devour you. After a time, the corridor bends to the right. As quietly as the void, you pause, feet apart, and crouch. Carefully, you look out and down the corridor. About 12 feet away, a figure stands, another ninja guard beside a door. His back is to you. A ninjato is strapped to his back. He stands in an attitude of relaxation, yet is unmoving. Will you creep forward and garrote the sentry, or hurl a shuriken at his head from the corner? As I reasoned last time, sneaking up on him to garrote him might make him aware of our presence. Whereas throwing a ninja star would be a kill from afar, without alerting his attention until it is thrown. So let's go for that. Also, he's a stationary target, so should be possibly quite easy to hit without even needing a dice roll. Your throwing star hurtles through the air to hit your target's back with a crack. The force of the blow sends the figure toppling forward. It crashes to the ground and shatters. You start in surprise as you realise it was only a clay dummy, a trick. Almost simultaneously, a trapdoor opens in the ceiling and another black-garbed ninja with a sai, an iron spike with 2 sharpened quillons in each hand, drops down. However, the ninja hesitates for a moment, expecting you to be beside the dummy, and thus gives you a time to dart forward. As he hisses in anger and turns to meet your attack, you drive a straight-fingered cobra strike at his throat. The Scorpion Ninja's defense is 7, so we will attempt a punch. Our punch modifier is +1. We fail to get over his defense and thus are fucked for the entire episode. Map Tools Dice, hate me again. Okay, well this didn't happen last time. Do we just get auto-killed now because... He twists his left arm up and across, knocking your jab aside and thrusting at your left thigh at the same time. He is fighting in close quarters and he cannot get much force behind the blow. However, the pain is real enough. Lose 2 endurance, which is going to make the next encounter somewhat harder. And that's putting it politely. If you're still alive, you pull your left leg back and stamp your other foot at the inside of his extended right knee. The bone snaps with a crack and the ninja cries out in pain as he staggers back. You follow it up with 3 rapid punches, an iron fist to the stomach, a cobra strike at his eyes, and a tiger's paw to the side of his neck. He collapses poleaxed. He has possibly raised the alarm, in addition to dealing 2 points of damage to us. Stepping over the body, you approach the door ahead of you. It is studded with many bolts shaped like scorpions. An enormous whirlpool symbol is painted upon it. The handle turns easily and you open it at a fraction and step through in one fluid motion, ready for action, into another corridor. In the dim light you come face to face with another ninja. This one is unarmed, the same height and build as you, tensed and ready for action. The ninja's costume is tattered and torn in places as if from constant battle, and the eyes seem to glitter with determined resolve. This ninja has an almost tangible aura of power and strength. Will you unleash a flying horse kick or step back into a defensive posture? I reasoned that from the same height and build as you, the costume being tattered and torn in places, and the eyes glittering with determined resolve, that this was a mirror. So, back up into a defensive posture. As you step back, legs braced, arms poised to block, so does the figure in front of you. Suddenly you realise this is a mirror. From behind it, somebody utters a curse, and the mirror is knocked forward to shatter at your feet. A man, pale and gaunt, dressed in black robes adorned with whirlpool symbols, stands before you. It is a priest of Nemesis, chain mace at his side. "Only a fool would seek to enter this den of scorpions and expect to live, Avenger, you mindless lackey of that weak so-called god of yours. May Nemesis, the lord of cleansing flame, devour your soul." And he gestures with his hands, preparing a spell. You leap forward, launching a winged horse kick, forcing him to jump back and abort his spell. He reaches for his mace to attack again. Will you try a tiger's paw chop, a leaping tiger kick, or a whirlpool throw? Well, I'm not going to try a whirlpool throw, because that's just a bad idea, as we learned last time. Additionally, our defense against his ball and chain is not that great in this fight. He's actually a pretty good fighter. So I'm going to go for the kick, because our kicks are somewhat more deadly. Speaking of deadly, he has 11 endurance points. We may need to utilize inner force here. Our defense is 6. Yeah, so he's only needing 7s to hit us. That's not good. You know what? I will throw a single point of inner force at this kick and hope. You hop forward and leap up, driving the ball of your foot at his head with deadly force. We have a kick modifier of +2. Absolutely landed the kick. So, clear, 1d6 +2, doubled for inner force, 7, 14. We win the fight. Excellent. That was a point of inner force well spent. I hope I don't regret it later on. The priest falls backwards, dead. You step over the body and press on. After a few yards, the corridor opens out into a circular well, a spiral staircase going down. You look over the edge. A bright light glows at its base 100 yards below. The whole effect is that of a whirlpool, and you realize the staircase was built in honor of Nemesis, the god whose symbol is the vortex. Alert for any signs of traps, you descend the stairs. You come out in a well-lit, spacious chamber. The floor is of polished wood, and the walls polished ebony, lined with glowing lanterns. It is bare of furniture, save an altar at the other end, with a black velvet drape covered in striking white whirlpool, and scorpion shapes laying over it. An idol towers behind it. A powerfully built, hawk-headed man, naked, but for a plain black kilt. The arms are raised and the eyes stare ahead, not off to the side, apparently. It radiates an aura of evil, and you recognize the figure as an effigy of Nemesis. I will check this illustration in the French picture, in the French edition with the coloured illustrations that is from Megara Studios or Megara Publishing. You know, that company who started doing a lot of gamebook fundraising campaigns, then sort of betrayed everyone and buggered off. To see if they have updated the image to have the head staring forward, or if it is also looking off to the side. Before the altar, a man sits cross-legged. He is dressed in the costume of a ninja, but red in colour and without the hood. A black cloth belt is tied around his waist. His forearms are exposed. A scorpion is tattooed on each wrist. His face is nondescript, instantly forgettable save for the eyes, black as night and full of power and malice. On the floor in front of him rests an unusual weapon, a kyoketsu, shoze. A length of braided animal hair connects a heavy metal ring to a dagger-like blade. "Welcome, Avenger," he says, his voice black and accentless so that it could not be recognized again. "I did not expect you to get this far." Should that be blank and accentless? That would make more sense. "I did not expect you to get this far. You have done well, but now you have come to the end. I am the Grandmaster of Shadows, master of the Way of the Scorpion, supreme form of ninjutsu. No mere adept I, but the most accomplished ninja on Orb." He rises to his feet, the kyoketsu shoze in his hands. You stand facing each other about 15 feet apart, each daring the other. Then the Grandmaster whirls the dagger and ring about his head in a complicated series of movements. He utters a short cry and sends the iron ring hurtling towards your head. Will you try to catch the ring or try to dodge it? Now this feels like a mid-level trap. Okay? An inexperienced or lowly skilled warrior who lacked training or experience would be expected to try and dodge in this situation. A moderately skilled or experienced warrior might attempt to catch the ring to pull their opponent off balance. However, he knows I am a ninja. He expects me to be a trained and possibly experienced opponent, so he is probably expecting me to catch the ring, in which case he can use it to pull me off balance. However, it's probable that he has underestimated my talent due to his bragging about his martial arts form being superior and calling himself the best ninja in the world. So, if he thinks I'm rubbish, he expects me to dodge. If he thinks I'm good, he expects me to catch the ring, which is a trap. And if I'm better, I dodge. So I'm going for the dodge here and hoping it's okay. At the last instant, you react and spin away to face him once more. He whips the ring back to him and sends the dagger hurtling towards you, the braided hair streaking behind it. Will you try to catch the dagger and attempt to yank it away from him, or simply try to dodge it? The ring, right, the dagger is sharp, right? If I'm trying to catch the rope behind the dagger, yeah, sure. But dodging twice feels like a mistake. If I dodge a second time, he'll start trying to tire me out by constant attacking, making me dodge a lot. Also, I am already weary. He is battle ready, as it were. Or simply try to dodge it. Wait, maybe I dodge twice, then the third time I don't dodge. No, I think I go for the catch and try not to die. Make a block roll. Your defense is 6 as... Oh, fucking hell. 6 as you attempt to catch the dagger. Block rolls... Okay, it's explicitly called a block roll. I do not successfully block, that fails, right? I take damage and get absolutely fucked. Because a block roll only needs to beat the defense, it doesn't need to roll over it, whereas a normal attack needs to roll over because a block is 1 harder. So that's trying to roll a 5 or less on 2 dice. That's really hard. I should have just dodged again, I think. You have misjudged the speed of the dagger and your hand closes on empty air. The blade sinks into your shoulder. Lose 4 endurance. Oh! Down to 9 and he isn't even injured yet. If you're still alive, the Grandmaster yanks it back, causing you to gasp in pain. He catches the returning dagger deftly in one hand. Then he shouts and leaps high into the air to land before you, the dagger in one hand, twirling the iron ring about his head in the other. Can I sweep his legs? He is close enough for you to attack as he stands there smiling, mocking you. He's trying to goad me into something. Will you try to swipe the smile off his face by jumping up and lashing your instep around at the right side of his head? Or wait for him to make a move? I think I wait for him to make a move because he's trying to goad me into action, which means this is a trap and I should absolutely not fall for it. He thrusts the dagger at your midriff, but you are ready and evade the blade. Then he said, fucking fuck, what? Oh, right, we get a defense, good. Then he sends the iron ring swinging at your head. You duck in time to see the ball of his foot hurtling towards your head, but at the last instant you slap it aside, causing him to spin around. He follows the momentum through, using the spin of his body to drive the dagger in his left hand at your chest with devastating power. You must try to block it. I think that is descriptive text rather than this being a forced block roll. Your defense is 8. Well, we successfully avoid being hit. If you fail, lose 5 endurance and get seriously knackered. If you survive, will you wait until he hurls the ring at you once more when you would deliberately try and entangle your left wrist on it and drive the leaping tiger kick at his face? Or try to sweep his legs from under him with a dragon's tail throw? Okay. I'm thinking... Okay. I was in the wrong folder. I was in the video folder, not the book folder. Okay. The scorpion is all about the pincers and the strikes, right? It grabs with the 2 pincers and holds you still so you can't evade the stinger. He's taking the striking stinger idea of the scorpion. I think we try and catch the ring. I want to throw him, but I think we want to try and catch the ring. Because we've avoided it so far and he might not expect us to switch up our style. As you hoped, he sends the iron ring spinning towards you. Whipping your arm across its path into the air, into the hair rope causes the ring to twist around your arm. Almost simultaneously, you grab the cord and leap, lashing the ball of your foot at his face. The Grandmaster is not expecting this, and your foot slams home with a crash. Note down that your opponent has lost 4 endurance. We have no idea how much he started with. The force of the blow sends him flying backwards, and he is forced to let go of the Kyoketsu Shoze, but he flips, landing in a handstand, and continues to flip backwards into the altar. Like that weird backflipping thing in Highlander, in the underground car park. Actually, is it underground? It might be overground, multi-story car park. You know what I mean, where the guy just keeps flipping for no reason for like 15 or 20 seconds, it feels like. Okay. He reaches it and takes up a scabbarded ninja toe from behind the altar. As you distangle the cord from your arm and cast it aside, it would be useless if you are untrained in your untrained hands. He jumps towards you again, coming with a halt some 4 feet in front of you. The left hand on the scabbard, the other on the hilt, poised to draw. If you have the skill of Shinren, we do! Otherwise, this may get rather more difficult for us. Is this a trick where it's going to be like an... what is that? the Brandystock, right? The Brandystock is a halberd with a retractable spike at the tip, which is triggered by a trigger in the pommel when it springs out like a spring-loaded knife blade, essentially, but it's a like 2 or 3 foot long bloody spike. The heart training enables you to sense his intent. His posture and expression tells you that he plans some trickery, a device or ploy of some kind. Not wishing to take chances, you leap back. At the same instant, he draws his sword and sweeps the scabbard back across in an arc. A fine mist of dust and liquid sprays out, but you are already out of range. He stares silently at you for a moment, inscrutable now. Then he lays the sword down and mutters distantly, "Ino Mosubi." You stand unmoving. It is as if you were enchanted, and a deathly hush falls in the room, and yet we avoided the red mist. It must have been worse if we did not. The Grandmaster stares ahead, unseeing. Putting his hands together, he begins to twist them around each other, making different shapes and signs. He makes 9 different signs, each one punctuated by a low, guttural murmur, as if he were using inner force. Suddenly, the room is plunged into darkness, and you... I think this is the fight I remember. And you come out of your apathy, alert as before. The Grandmaster of Shadows has used some kind of ninja magic, something unknown to you, to create darkness. You tense and begin to circle warily, as silently as you can. It is pitch black, your enemy could be anywhere. Senses straining, you try to locate him. Your spine tingles as you think about what you are up against. This is the Grandmaster of Shadows, a master of the special skill of the ninjas of the Way of the Scorpion, in the skill of silent stealth or the secret shadow. The words above the entrance to this place come unbidden to your mind. Make the night your friend and darkness your cloak of invisibility. You are at a disadvantage here in the Grandmaster's element. You can hear nothing. It is as if you were alone. Suddenly your every sense is concentrated at a point in the middle of your chest. You can feel something touch you there. It's the tip of the scabbard. He's balancing the scabbard on the tip of the sword so that we knock it aside and step forward and impale ourselves. I remembered this fight in Book 2 and spent a ridiculous amount of time wondering why I couldn't find this moment in the fight with the ninja at the Samurai Lord's mansion. Will you strike out with an iron fist punch? Striking out with an iron fist punch will probably involve taking a step forwards, and there is something touching me in the centre of my chest. Or slide forward into a sweeping tiger's tail throw. We absolutely do that because we don't want to die, and I remembered this for decades. Oh, so glad that memory came back. I mean, it came back a little bit too early. Was it 340? You slide forward and hook your feet around one of its tree trunk like... Hang on. That's not... Was it 342 then? Oh shit, what section were we on? Oh, bugger. Right. Let's look for the picture and retrace our steps. Wait, this was part of the fight. Iron Ring, 4 Endurance, Shinren 272. I found a relevant picture that helped me. Not the one I was looking for. 272. 344. 344. Or did I go to 244? Right. As you drop, the scabbard falls on top of you, and then a sword parts the air where you were just standing. You realise the Grandmaster had balanced the scabbard on the end of his sword to confuse you as to his position. However, you have the better of him this time as your feet sweep out, knocking his legs from under him. You hear a gasp of surprise and then the sound of someone vaulting away. Then the lights flare up unexpectedly and you are momentarily blinded. Eyes narrowed against the glare, you can just make out your opponent about 15 feet away, about to hurl his sword at you like a spear. If you have the skill of arrow cutting, we do! We had that since Book 1, I believe, and it's come in very useful. In fact, it was practically the first skill I chose. Let's use those steel sleeves to knock this aside. Momentarily blinded as you are, your reflexes take over and you deflect the flying blade with your iron sleeves. The ring of steel on steel echoes around the chamber and the sword embeds itself in the wooden flooring, where it quivers as if alive. Your vision clears. A short wooden stick drops out of the Master Ninja's sleeve into his hand and he darts forward, ready to strike at your shoulder without a second. Will you try to block it or allow him to hit you and drive a leaping tiger kick into his face while his guard is down? A short wooden stick. A short wooden stick. Why? Okay, so if I block it, this could be a bluff, right? Would this be like have poison needle spikes on it or something? If I block it, what does he do? And why is he striking at the shoulder when he has better options available? I think we'll risk taking the hit and hope it's not some kind of deadly weapon. This feels counterintuitive, which is why it might just work. The stick whistles down and you're about to execute a kick when there is a click and a sickle-like blade flicks out from its end. It is too late to block and it sinks into you and out again as your enemy pulls it back. Red agony burns across your shoulder, causing you to stagger back before you can kick. Lose 4 endurance, which means... Ow! I did really well up to this point. If you're still alive, the Grandmaster of Shadows pauses, a mocking smile playing about his lips. Will you close in? This feels like we're going to normal combat now. Will you close in and attack with a forked lightning strike, a Cobra Strike punch, or a Teeth of the Tiger throw? Teeth of the Tiger feels wrong. Actually, wait. He's a highly trained ninja, but of a different tradition. He might not expect this. He still has a bladed implement in his hand. I think I'll go for the kick and play it safe for a moment because I am nearly dead. Oh, it was 30, wasn't it? Okay. First off, I'm reducing that 15 to an 11, as we now know his endurance total. The Grandmaster swings the sickle down to the side of your neck. At the side of your neck, but you take the shaft on the palm of your outstretched hand and then drive a kick at his knee and up again at his head. Remember that he may already have lost some endurance. Yes, if you have the skill of Yubijutsu, you may add 1 to your damage rolls. We do not, so we're just going for a straight up kick. A 9. I should have said inner force. I did not say inner force, so we're going to have to just take that as a normal kick for 8 damage, reducing him to 3 endurance points. So we just need 1 more hit. However, 1 more hit from him could end us. If you have beaten him, you are awesome and turn to 42. If not, he swings the sickle up in a backhanded strike aimed at your midriff. Your defense is 7 as you hop back onto your toes and try to drive both of your hands down into his wrist. Ow. Okay, that 7 does not beat our defense of 7 because it needs to be above it for a hit. Excellent. If you survive, will you try a Cobra Strike punch or a Teeth of the Tiger? We'll go for another kick. Okay. Another kick should end him. And let's hope I don't speak too soon and end my words. I speak too soon and eat my words. Fuck. Then he tries to hit us. We try to block. He hits us. We probably die. 4 damage. Drops us down to a single endurance point. And we'll go for 1 more kick. That ends the fight. That was the closest fight we have had in a very long time. Your last blow knocks him backwards and he falls to sprawl on his back at your feet. This isn't great because we need to get information out of him. He tries to rise, but the effort is too much for him and his head crashes back to the ground. He groans, barely breathing. Then he lifts his head and points at you with one hand, his arm crooked. He rasps in a voice cracked with pain. "You have done well, Avenger. You are a great ninja. But I'm afraid you have wasted your time after all." And he smiles weakly. "I shall die, but you shall not find the orb and scepter here. They lie beyond the fangs of Nadir, the clashing rocks of the inner sea." He laughs, but is cut short by a spasm of pain. "Right. This is what we needed to know." Clashing rocks is in the Odyssey? Yes, the Odyssey, not the Iliad. Or, wait, I'm thinking of Jason and the Golden Fleece. Oh, yeah, actually, no, yeah, that makes sense, yeah. A trickle of blood runs from his lips as he struggles to speak on. "Beyond the fangs, a kraken awaits to devour all those who approach the jaws of right forgetfulness. Only the bearer of an amulet of Nulak will it not devour. An island lies near the centre of the elemental sea. Upon that island lies the orb and sceptre of Telmain the First, long dead ruler of Irsmuncast. But," he pauses for breath, "a devil beast guards them. Your task has but begun, Avenger." You know a devil beast to be a demonic thing created by the priests of death from the dead body of an elf, and an abomination to elves. Suddenly, the dying Grandmaster straightens his arm and flicks his wrist. There is a click and a thin sliver of steel flies forth, catching you completely unawares. It buries itself in your left eye, putting it out instantly. You throw your hands to your face and cry out. Dragging it out brings a rush of blood. The Grandmaster gives a last sigh and slumps back dead as you staunch the flow of blood from your wound. All that is left is a gaping hole. All your modifiers are reduced by 1 until you can find some way to restoring sight to your left eye. You twist your hood so that it covers the unseemly sight of your ruined eye. Kraken. There we go. I am going to list these now. Wait, from all modifiers? All modifiers, including fate. Oh, ow, ooh. I presume it's not supposed to include fate, but I'm going to include fate anyway. I'm going to note blind in left eye. I was going to put blind in one eye, but sure. Now, I know from book 5 that, well, no, I don't, it doesn't really come up in book 5. I know from having glanced at book 6 but never played it that at one point Cassandra can steal the gem from our left eye socket, so we had a prosthetic magic left emerald eye. I knew it wasn't gained in book 5, so this is where it comes from. I've played up to the Kraken, I believe, or something shortly before the Kraken in this book before, but never beyond that point. Hopping over the body, you examine the altar. The idol of Nemesis seems to regard you malevolently. You find a secret cache inside containing 2 potions, one easily identifiable as poison, the other a healing potion which you may drink at any time to restore up to 5 points of lost endurance. Or you can drink it right now and go back up to 6 endurance points and be grateful to be alive. Should I call it potion of poison or just poison? Because it's poison disguised as a potion, we may be able to give it to someone. There is also a small chest of gold coins, about 40 in number, and several gems which you decide may be useful, although you find it completely incomprehensible that many find the sparkling coloured stones so fascinating. So we're going to call that approximation of 40 coins to be exactly 40, and here we go. As you are walking to the stairs, several ninjas file into the room to stand in 2 rows flanking the exit. You step back in dismay. You feel too tired, but one of them says, "You have penetrated to the centre of our most secret and well-guarded place, and slain our Grandmaster. Because of this, we are honour-bound to let you go free, much as it irks us. You have performed a great deed, and we will not hinder your passage." And they step aside. While they may soon chase after me, they're probably going to be rather more preoccupied with the action of choosing a new Grandmaster for their order. As you ascend the vortex-shaped stairs, he continues, "But for the killing of our Grandmaster and the dishonour you have heaped upon us, your life is forfeit. This debt of honour shall be settled. May Nemesis devour your soul." Sometime later you are above ground. It is morning now, and the sun shines brightly on the idyllic valley that hides the evil cult of assassins in its bones. You will have to cross the inner sea to reach the fangs of Nadir. Examine your map, which, hilariously, we don't have a map picture for Book 4, so presumably it's the same map as Book 3. Maybe I only put the map here and didn't put a copy for Book 4 because it's the same map. Land of the Fire Drakes, we are needing to get to the inner sea, not the Sea of the Star. Down here, okay. Will you cross the mountains to the east from here to the shore of the inner sea, or cross the mountains to the west, reaching the shore that way? East, west would go back to Pest and Segasvar, which we have avoided on the way here. Why does the Haven of Tor sound familiar? I have a feeling this is a decision that I can put off until the next episode, and just be extremely grateful to have made it through this fight at all. So yeah, I'm going to end this one there. I hope you've all enjoyed this episode, and I look forward to seeing you all in the very next one. I'll say goodbye for now, though, and cheerio, everyone. See you all soon.